Welcome guys to another video, and before you say anything, no, your computer's not broken. Mine's completely wrecked though, so you see what happened was my computer completely died, so I can't record any gameplay, so I'm just gonna edit in a bunch of pictures that go along with what I'm saying, so it's somewhat watchable. Anywho, school starts in a little under 2 weeks. Yes, I counted, leave me alone, don't cyberbully me. And so I was thinking to myself, what's the best way to start off my school year? And I thought, of course, the best way to make sure you pass is to diss the entire school system altogether. Yep, so that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about why the school system is broken and how it can be easily fixed. You know, away we go. Alright, so if we want to diss school, that means we have to figure out why school started. So, fun fact of the day, by the way, school started during the 1700s. I'm not exactly sure when. It's just a rough estimate. I don't know. And if you didn't know, that's when the industrial age began. This means factories. You know, the thing that's single-handedly destroying the ozone layer. Yeah, those things, they were being built and they needed people to run them. The problem was people were too sentient. They were like some guy walks in and then he's like, so what if we made a system where we can teach people to follow instructions instead of teaching them actual life skills they'll actually use in the future? And after 200 years, we can proudly say that nothing has changed. If you look at school today, all teachers do is tell you to do stuff that a larger group of people told them to do, and they get paid cash money for it. See, it's a cycle. No, people keep telling people to do stuff so that they can tell other people to do stuff. We're not getting anywhere. Literally reading off a sheet of paper. Now, I'm not saying teachers are always bad people, unless you have a teacher that mentally and physically abuses you, but the way of teaching, in my opinion, is pretty dumb. See, now, if you really sit down and take a minute to think about it, school was literally invented to make people dumb, so then they could be easily controlled in factories, so they wouldn't revolt and stuff. They're not teaching you anything. In my world, the definition of teaching is having someone retain information you give to them. So teaching a person how to ride a bike. Once they know how to ride a bike, they're gonna forever know how to ride the bike. They retain that information, and that's teaching them. School doesn't teach you anything because they don't follow that definition that I made. That is a very accurate and should definitely be taken seriously. No, but seriously, take a good look at what schools do. A larger group of people, like the Board of Education or something, they give the teacher a piece of paper and then they say, all right, you teach them these things before school ends, or you're fired. And then they're just basically trying to cram as much information into your mind in 180 days. That's not teaching. That's like eating food without chewing. The less you chew, the harder it is to digest. The less you make sure students are retaining information, the less they actually retain the information. That was a terrible analogy, but you get what I'm saying. If you walk into any classroom during school, why do you think the students always look bored or uninterested or depressed? That's because that's the exact reason. They're bored and uninterested. You don't do things because you do things because you either like it or enjoy it. You don't do something you don't like. It's like playing video games. Why would you play a game you hate? There's no correlation here. And this is exactly why the only section of school people actually care about is college. You see, college gives you, they direct the courses that you want to do to real life. If you want to be a doctor, you take doctor classes. If you want to be an engineer, you take engineer classes. I mean, I guess high school kind of starts doing that eventually, but that's besides the point. See, now college also gives you, it's very flexible. You can get a lot of personalization, like the fact that you can form your own schedules. That alone puts you in a real life situation, because when you finish college, you're going to be on your own, managing your own time, which is for the next 6 years. No one is going to walk up to you, give you a sheet of paper and say, all right, here's your schedule for the next 70 years. Have fun. No, that's not going to happen. There's just one problem, you see. It costs on average $34,000 for tuition and fees. Why? And that's just for 1 year. If you want a master's degree, which is what people normally go for, because master's degree, that's 6 years. Do some math, and oh, would you look at that? That's roughly $200,000 for school. Why? And then people are always like, you kids need to get smarter so you can cure cancer for us and help us invent flying cars, and yet they're making us pay $1/5 to go to the only section of school anyone cares about. Or you could just turn high school into a smaller version of college. I mean, that would solve a lot of problems, because then kids can actually do what they want and not sleep through class like it's nothing, and they get yelled at and their life becomes miserable, then they end up homeless, and that's just not ideal for anyone. So just I don't know, make colleges cheaper or something. Just make school interesting, okay? Leave me alone. Anywho, that's gonna be it for today. If you enjoyed me ranting on school, leave a like, subscribe, or not. No one's forcing you. Later, nerds!